Hey guys, it's the Attack here. I just want to talk about my favorite TV cartoon. And no, it's not this amazing shirt that my cousin got me. It is a great show. But if you can tell by my hat, this is my Rex Banner hat. I'll get you, Beer Baron. Will. So, if you know by that, the show I'm talking about is the longest running cartoon in television history to beat up the Flintstones. It used to be. They were featured on the Tracy Ullman Show in the mid to late 80s. Their characters would be fleshed out, made into a full-fledged TV show written by, drawn by Matt Groening and other people. Many famous people, actually, even now, from that show. And that show is The Simpsons. I'm going to show you my Simpsons DVD collection. Disney Plus coming out recently. A lot of people, have been complaining about certain things being edited out. Them changing the aspect ratio on the show itself for episodes, making certain things, like what was the example they used when they toured the Duff beer factory? You can't see the tops on the names of the beers, which is part of the joke because of the way that they've edited it. So that was season 1. And then there's season 2. And each one of these come with its own, like, you call it postcards and little promotional things that are really cool. I like them. But you get so many. And then I have season 3. I love the color of this one. It's blinding my eyes. It's so beautiful. Look at this. A lot of great classic episodes. Everybody says the first 10 seasons are the best, and I personally like the first 15 the most. They did all these really good box sets. They did a great job designing them. Some of them, the inside would be easy snap out DVD. Some were slide-ins and very hard to get out. People will complain about how they changed the interior packaging, but the outside, as you can see, was the same. And as you pull it out, this picture would show a picture in the back of the case, be a different picture in the TV. So that was pretty cool. They do stuff like that. And here we got gray, turquoise, pink, blue so far, and that's 4 seasons in. And then 5th season. This season is amazing. You know what I mean? Bart gets an elephant. Where's my elephant? It's a great one. These packaging, again, I can't get over how nice these were when I was a younger man. I used to go to HMV when it was open in Canada every Friday on my payday. I was single, and buy myself a Seasons. Season 6, I searched and searched and searched for it because season 5 has part 1 of Who Shot Mr. Burns. But season 6 has part 2. I couldn't find 6 to save my life. We looked everywhere, and then eventually my wife actually found it for me, and it was the Canadian one, same as the other ones, but those were all American. This one was Canadian, straight on the front. It had its French translation right on it. And I finally got it years and years and years and years and years later, for part 2 of, as you can see, Who Shot Mr. Burns. Right? Okay, so that's the first 6. Love the color of the 7. It's like a purpley blue. It's really good. The way, again, they did the same, packaging. Every season seems to have its own color. You get season 8, it's a darker green, like a mint green instead of a turquoise. And you would get, like this one, newspaper clipping, postcard things. Then there's season 9. It's the 200th episode one. This one came with a lot of cool swag, cards and collectible badges and things like that. It was pretty cool. And we go into the other seasons. I mean, ninth season is great, especially with 200 episode. But like season 10, I really liked the gold cover, and there was a lot of good episodes on this season too. Like, it was done well. Even the packaging, like, look, it's supposed to be like a Star Wars thing. I love it. Everything about it just, it screamed the original packagings, like, you know. And then things started to get a little slim. Packagings became a little slimmer. They stopped doing the Simpsons front scenes, as you can see in season 11, and they started doing just one full character on the front, you know, so they got a little slimmer. All of these have this like paper thing, and you can peel it off, but I don't, because it tells you all the episodes and stuff, or otherwise you have to look inside, and it's a pain in the butt. I lent one to my friend John. Season 12. Worst season ever. No, I'm just kidding. I just had to say that. And he ripped off the back piece, and like, there's a cool picture on the back, but now that piece is gone, so that's part of this packaging just ripped right off. What's really weird too is this is all shiny. I noticed that everywhere. Oh, Matt Groening's on the side of that. Groening, however you want to say. But look at the actual package itself. It's not shiny red, it's just like a candy apple dark red. So that's kind of neat. Really love this case. This season and case tastes like burning, big time. It's really good. Even the back, I love the video game influence there. It's just, they're all good, and the Treehouse of Horrors and all these are amazing. Like, oh, look at that, season 14, look who's on the front. As you can see, they started going with the characters, and it's just shiny spots, not the whole thing anymore as much. And again, this one is really well done, like the others. So again, it has that peel off thing on the back that you can peel off with the episodes, which I don't like doing. And that's the first 14 seasons that I have so far. I have the others to get. The box sets eventually change. When I get the others, I'll show you, and you can see how they just screwed the collection up. You sort of collect them all like this, and they made really weird packaging. But I did have another one, and that's the Simpsons movie, which a lot of people hated. I liked it. You know, I'm a big Simpsons fan. I've been watching since I was a kid. Me and my grandfather used to watch his VHS ones, and in between each episode in the first 3 seasons, I think it was, maybe 2, they would show clips from the old Tracy Ullman shorts, and it was what got me into knowing the whole thing. It was pretty cool. And now to watch them digitally remastered on DVD, I love it, because the VHS one, it's, you know, it's old, but it's the same, like the first few seasons, it's the same drawing. They don't change it, so they keep it the same, they just clean it up, which I've really appreciated that. I have video games, I have had merchandise, I've had clothes when I was a kid, you know, Eat My Shorts, Bart Simpson with the friggin', call it, slingshot sticking out of his pocket. Blue shirt he was wearing too. He used to wear a blue shirt randomly a lot, which is weird. I love Butterfinger chocolate bars. He's the reason I got into them. When I was a kid, to be perfectly honest, I still eat them. And it's because nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. You know, like, I had Krusty's Funhouse for the Sega Genesis, and that really opened the gaming world up for me. It's such a great show. People don't like the modern seasons, and I mean, that's your call. But for me, I think there's gems in there, hidden gems and episodes here and there. And I always said Simpsons is just a parody of reality that's existing, we're living in now. When those old seasons came out, think about it, they came out in the 90s, in the early 2000s, when things were different. You know, things were socially acceptable, not socially acceptable. Compared to now, you know, the jokes certain people can't take, or they're too far, they're saying, extreme. So, you know, and Apu, whole Apu thing, and get rid of him because his voice isn't done by a brown actor. But I mean, Nancy Cartwright's a woman, and she plays many boys' voices. Who cares? A lot of my brown friends said that it was nice to see Apu, and honestly, I thought he was one of the funniest and strongest characters of all. Guy owned his own business, had a family, all these children, you know? He was doing well. He had Trans Am at one point. He sprayed Bart with a hose because Homer He says, Homer, do you want me to spray you playfully with the hose? And spray the boy. He sprays Bart. I love it. I miss him. But things have changed, and I think people need to realize that that's what's going to change the show. If the show's not funny anymore, it's probably because we're not funny. Like, people used to talk about, their parodies on the Apple products. That's real. They go out, I got my Apple Watch, I got my Apple Brain Chip, I got my iPod hidden away at my house, I got my iPhone 39.125. It's just like they keep going and going and going and going and going. And people do basically whatever they say. And at one point, they were controlling everyone's musics and their personal files on the iPod Touch. So, like, it wasn't funny because it was actually sad. And what you were watching was a parody on reality and what everybody does with Apple products. And that's all they were doing. Yeah, that's not funny because it's actually really sad. Or the robots, there's a robot episode where, Homer had to go up to this thing and he said, it's Homer Simpson. It says, does not match 1989 voice recognition. And he goes, let's all go for frosted chocolate milkshakes. And it's just like, that 1 second was funny, but the rest of the episode was terrible. And it was mostly because it was talking about people basically going out and complaining about everything, just little things they shouldn't complain about, instead of big issues that actually could change the world. And I think that was what the episode was really about, but it wasn't funny because we're just not funny anymore. That's not the show's fault. They parody us. So if the show becomes boring, that just means that we're all boring. That's just my take on it. You can have your own opinion, and that's fine, and I respect that, but this is just my take on it, and I'll always love the show. The old episodes, I'll still watch it till it's done. And I'll watch episodes that are crap, like the Game of Thrones episode. But, it's a great show. And I'm just curious to you, what's your favorite cartoon? What's the, cartoon you grew up watching? Or even as an adult cartoon you found funny, like a Rick and Morty, or South Park, or Family Guy, or American Dad. There's so many. Duckman in the 90s, Howard the Duck movie. There's a whole bunch of like weird things like that are like crossover cartoon things. Like, even someone said to me once that Roger Rabbit is an adult movie, but it's a cartoon. And The Simpsons is kind of like that borderline thing where it's an adult themes that they're showing you, but it's a cartoon. And a cartoon used to be, before the 80s, associated with children. Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers. Looney Tunes were for kids, and all those people grew up still watching them as adults, showing them to their kids and their grandkids. I think that's where the cartoon thing progressed to adults watching it. Because grandpa still liked those cartoons, watching Daffy Duck, And I'm just curious, what's your favorite cartoon that you've watched, adult or child, doesn't really matter, that really still sticks with you till this day? It's a big part of you. Let us know in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe, and remember, no matter what you do or what cartoon you watch, there's nostalgia everywhere.